Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to share 5 tips to know about flipping properties for profit. Again, buying properties to sell is different to buying properties to hold. Very important thing to actually note here, because obviously you renovate the property, do so many stuff differently. So obviously if you're looking to start to flip properties, it's important to know these 5 tips. Again, flipping means selling. It is a slang word basically. So flipping means sell. So if you're looking to sell properties, if you're looking to sell properties to make profit, these are the 5 tips you need to aware about, or you want to understand before you start flipping. Again, flipping is a very good way to make cash flow in order to invest for long term. Right? So most investors, myself included, when I started, I used to do it the 3-2-1 rule. I'll buy 3 properties, sell 2, keep 1, buy 3 properties, sell 2, keep 1. Some people just don't want to deal with tenant, they don't want to manage the properties, they just want to flip. And again, flipping properties can make you lots of money in no time basically. So very good strategy, and then obviously is a very good way to actually generate lots of cash flow that would allow you to buy multiple of properties at the same time. So again, if you need to know what you want to achieve when you looking to flip properties, if the first tip about flipping properties to make profit is basically, if you want to do it, get it done. Okay, stop procrastinating about it. Stop thinking, oh, is it going to really work? Am I going to make profit out of it? Oh, I want to do it tomorrow, the day after, maybe next year when I have my first son, when I got married and I got my second son. Stop procrastinating about it, right? Take action now and get it done. Okay, that's number one thing, because if you don't stop procrastinating, you won't do it. Especially if you haven't got lots of money to actually start with. Maybe you want to start flipping properties, because when you flip properties, you will make money out of it. Here's the thing. When you flip a property, you see that profit in your account, you want to do it. You want to do it every single day, almost every single day, basically, because it gives you return on your investment instantly, and you don't have to wait for a couple of years or so to start seeing a capital appreciation in your property. So again, stop the procrastination. Get it done. Again, before you get it done, make sure you do these 2 things. Write this down. 1, educate yourself. Right? Educate yourself massively to know that you know what you're doing. The second thing you need to do, write this down as well, is to get a coach or a mentor to guide you along the way. A coach or a mentor to guide you along the way. Very important for you to have these 2 people with you, or to do these 2 things with you that would actually help you take your investment journey to the next level. So procrastination, stop that now. If you're one of those, stop procrastinating, take action, okay? The second tip you need to know about flipping properties, you need to have a patch. Right, you need to have an investment area, because obviously you cannot buy properties everywhere in the UK, and you cannot literally view properties everywhere in the UK. UK is a small country, but yet a bigger country when it comes to investing. So again, find a patch, look at your target market and understand what patch you want to kind of target. Okay, the patch is very important, because that determines your renovation cost, it determines the clientele, it determines what value the properties would also come at. Okay, so find a patch. If it happens to be in London, brilliant. Find an area in London, find a town in London, or find an area in London. Suppose you want to invest in London. Are you going to invest in South London? If you're in South London, where about in South London? Because you've got Brixton, you've got Peckham, you've got Croydon, you've got Lewisham, you've got so many places that are part of the that is part of South London. So are you investing in Croydon? Brilliant. If it's in Croydon, then concentrate in Croydon to enable you to get the properties that you want to flip. Okay, if it happens to be in Birmingham, where about in Birmingham you want to invest? Is it Birmingham City Centre? Is it Peribah? Is it Handsworth? Is it Handsworth Wood? You know, is it Dudley? So wherever you want to invest, make sure you know that specific area that you want to invest in. Right? If you want to invest in Solihull, for example, in Birmingham, make sure you know whereabout it is, what the property market is in that area. So you have that patch, then you become professional and specialist in that area. That means basically you will be able to analyze deals quicker, and you would also know what sort of appreciation happens in those areas. And the third tip is basically know your numbers. Very, very important to know your numbers, because if you don't know your numbers, basically you would struggle to make profit on your deals. Very important to know this. Know your numbers. Make sure you do them more than 15 times if you have to. So what I normally do with my property deals, I overestimate my expenses and underestimate my income, right? I always overestimate my expenses and underestimate my income, because obviously that way then I know then I am sort of protected. Okay, you will never get the figures 100% right, but you want to be around that estimation. Yeah, if it's less, obviously you're laughing. If it's more, then obviously it's eating into your profit, because if you're selling, you're eating into your profit. Okay, you're eating into your profit. The more expense you do on your renovation works, the more you're eating into your profit. So get a figure, a profit figure in mind. Do you want to make £15,000 in a flip property? Is it £20,000? Is it £30,000? Is it £40,000? Whatever your net profit is, you work back then to understand how much you need to buy a property to make that profit. Okay, work backwards. Okay, take that in and then see that you'll be able to work out what your actual purchase price would be. So once you know what your purchase price is, then basically you go out there and look for properties and negotiate on that basis. Vital important for you to know that, because if you don't know that, you'll be eating into your profit. I remember someone approached me a couple of years ago saying now they are looking to flip properties. They wanted to make £25,000 in the property. They estimated renovation cost to be about maybe £20,000 or so. It went up to nearly £25,000. So they only end up making about £8,000 to £10,000 profit in that deal. So again, they underestimate their expenses and then overestimate their income, and then obviously they get burnt. Obviously, you don't want to do a property for about 3 to 4 months only to make £10,000 profit. In the property world, that is not lots of money. Okay, it may be lots of money if you're doing other businesses, but if you're doing properties, that's not a lot of money. You want to be making minimum £15,000 to £20,000 in a property flip. Okay, if you're not making that much money, you're really struggling, because your cost would eat into your profit. And then the fourth thing you need to know when flipping properties is basically how to build a power team, how to get builders, right? You may be thinking buying properties is hard, but trust me, getting the builders is the hardest part when it comes to renovations, when it comes to property investing. They're very difficult to deal with. They are the most unreliable people you could ever work with. So therefore, have a checklist of the sort of people you want to work with. For example, my student, we have a checklist. We have a checklist of what sort of people we want to work with, right? We get multiple of them. We interview them, we talk to them to ensure they hit our criteria before we actually get them to work with us. And again, obviously, you don't have to employ them. You'll be contracting out with them. Again, very important to build a power team. Do you need a carpenter? Do you need a plasterer? Do you need a plumber? Do you need to get an electrician, roofer, bricky? Whatever people you need in your power team, get them, vet them, make sure they're the right people to work with. The sixth thing you need to aware, actually, I'm going to give you 2 extra tips here, okay? 2 extra tips to kind of know when you're flipping property. Speed is in the essence, okay? Speed in the essence when it comes to flipping properties, because property prices move faster than it was 5, 10, 15 years ago. So again, get it done quickly, because if the longer it stays, the more time you pay on your loan, on your bridging loan, especially if you're using bridging loan. Again, the longer it takes to renovate, obviously it takes about 4 to 8 weeks also to sell the property, right? And once the property is sold, again, it takes about 8 to 12 weeks to complete the actual deal. So it takes a very, very long time to actually sell a property. It's not something that you just pick up off the shelf and go to the counter and pay for it. It takes time. So what you do, your renovation period is the time you want to squeeze in the best way you could possibly can, so that you would know exactly how long it will take, and then push it. Remind your builders about the deadlines. Remind your builders about your deadline every single day. You'll never get to complete it on time, I'm going to be honest with you, but if you want to complete it within 12 weeks, tell your builders you want to complete it in 8 weeks or even 6 weeks. If you want to complete it within 16 weeks, tell them 12 weeks. right? Because you will never ever get to complete it on time, because builders are reliable. Again, materials can be delayed, deliveries are delayed, and there's so many if and buts there. So in your head, have your deadline, and have the deadline that you set with your builders as well. Again, speed is in the essence. Again, I've already talked about targeting profit. Have your targeted profit so you know how much you're making in each and every single deal. I really hope this video has been helpful. If this video has been helpful, don't forget to hit the like button below. Subscribe to my channel for future videos. I look forward to sharing the next video.